Welcome to another episode of High Proof Ashes. I'm one of your co-hosts, Jason JB Smoke, and over to my right.
I know what it is, man. No cool nickname, Duran, back in the building.
Yeah, man, we're back at it. We are still hanging out at the Culture Cigar Lounge, Culture with a K. So if you haven't watched the previous episode that we did, where we did a little bit of a walkthrough of the place, it's a nice, quaint little place in little quaint Dalton, Georgia. Nice small town feel, but
great owner. Great owner.
Yeah, like great owner. He's creating a great environment. He's still getting things spun up, right? So, don't come in here expecting he's been here for 10 years and he's got everything figured out.
No.
So.
But I think you'll love the vibe.
Yeah, man, I'm really enjoying it. The humidor looks nice. He's still building it. That's a thing. But hey, that previous smoke that we had, I've never seen it before. So again, if you haven't seen that episode, you should go back and watch that one.
For sure.
But today we're going to smoke something that is a bit more mainstream. So this is the Jaime Garcia Reserva Especial. This, if you don't already know, is I told you wrong earlier. This is a relative of my father.
Okay.
Family line.
I was about to say, I never heard about this.
Sorry, I said it wrong. So yeah, so this, it says my father's cigars on it, but my father, I may have to look it up. I don't think they make it, but they're like involved, or something like that. So, but yeah, I haven't had this cigar in years.
Okay.
I just, it's one of those ones that you just kind of pass up if you've had it before. I think there's plenty of things that we just pass up that we've had before.
Because we're creatures of habit,
right? And we'd like to try new stuff, that sort of thing. But I haven't had this one in a while, and hey, it may surprise me. So we're going to get into this. As far as our spirits for today, so you have one, the Turkey 70th anniversary.
Yeah, man. Aged 8 years. It's Wild Turkey 101, guys. Right. Don't mistake it for anything other than that.
But it's just not a single barrel.
No, it's just been aged 8 years, as far as I know. We may have to do a little research on that because I haven't checked, but it differs slightly from regular 101.
I think that they picked certain barrels or small batched it or something to have a slightly different flavor.
Yeah, for sure.
And then this other thing, bottle looks familiar, but it's not quite what's in there. So the bottle says Larceny Barrel Proof. This is the A124, which I believe this specific batch made Minix Top 100.
I think so.
But that's not really the important part. This is one of my experimental blends where I took just whatever barrel proof I could find on the shelf at the time, which just so happened to be the A124, and a bottle of small batch.
And mixed them.
And I mixed them 50-50.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Okay. I'm pretty positive I've had it.
I like it so much that I'm not going to bother with barrel proof or small batch anymore.
Okay.
I'm just going to buy them both, blend them, and that's what I'm going to drink.
I got it.
Because, well, we'll get into the flavor notes as we get to that.
Yeah, sounds good.
Hey, let's get into it.
So realistically, let's see. So that's about your Larceny blend is what, about?
I believe
105 proof.
I believe it's about 105 proof. Yeah.
All right. So that means I'll start with the 101. Let's get a little bit of a baseline.
Yeah. Because I want to say that the small batch is it's 86 proof or something like that, and then the barrel proof is 124. So you just do the math, and it ends up being about 105, something like that.
And so a couple of things to remember, guys. Make sure you stay hydrated. You can't see my bottle of water just because it's got labels on it, and I ain't giving, it's a bourbon and cigar podcast, so of course you're going to see the bourbons and the cigars. But as far as the water goes, ain't nobody, sponsoring. So It is what it is. With that being said, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that little bell so that you get notifications when we drop new content. We're working hard to give y'all good stuff to watch, man, and to be engaging. So let us know what you think.
Not a lot on the cold draw or the, aroma on the outside of the cigar.
My deal on torpedoes here. So this is a little bit of a weirder one, but
yeah, this is a bellicoso is what they call it. So it doesn't have so much of a drastic point, right? It's more rounded.
Nothing on the cold draw for me.
Well, that's nice and oily. Well, it really coats the mouth.
Okay, it's good on the initial draw. It's definitely not as strong as where we were at previously.
No, I mean, that one was up there. I don't know that we would be able to. It's going to be hard to compete with that.
All right, let's get a little pour of something here.
You gonna start with the turkey?
That's what I'm going to start with.
All right.
I mean, you know, you feel free to do whatever you want. Surprisingly, like, look at that.
All right.
Didn't plan that. Just grabbed one off the shelf. Smells like turkey.
Ooh, boy, that retro is nice. Yeah, I mean, it's so fruity and floral.
Yeah, it's everything you expect from turkey as far as the aromatics go.
Doesn't smell proofy at all. Nice and viscous. It's funny, like you can tell that it's Turkey 101, but it's got
Different.
Other stuff kind of attached to it.
Is it sweeter?
I feel like
it's sweeter.
I feel like it is sweeter. It could also be, what we had before maybe just wasn't as sweet.
Yeah.
This is definitely a sweeter pour than what we previously had.
Yes.
But is it sweeter than like normal 101?
I don't know. I feel like I should have maybe tasted the regular 101 before, just to get a good baseline on what it was.
Yeah.
But
that's a great pour, man.
It is.
That's a great pour. So this was a special 2024 release, right? They did it one time. As far as we know, they're not.
As far as I know, I don't think they're going to repeat it. Yeah. Of course, it says 70 years, so 70th anniversary. So
right. I mean, and it has the years on it, right? It's whatever it is, 54 to 24, I think. Yeah. But that's just a great pour. And I love that they didn't go crazy with the bottle design. It looks like a bottle of.
It's 101, man. So why?
You just put a different label on it.
Why screw up something that's already great?
But I think Turkey, they keep everything so simple.
Yes.
And, I love them for that.
Yes. So let's visit something that we haven't visited in a while. What would you say is your favorite distillery right now?
It's definitely Turkey.
Okay.
Because I don't know that they have anything that I don't like.
Okay.
Other than the 80 proof version of
just
turkey.
Wild turkey.
Just regular wild turkey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm out on that, but everything else,
I'm in.
All
right, so if we take that one off the table, what's next?
Probably Beam.
No, okay. Just making sure. Man, because I think when we started this thing, right, we were both like, we don't like Beam.
Right.
And then it just kind of.
Well, we started tasting the stuff that, where they actually really try to make stuff taste good, not get out of that bar stock,
yes,
if you will, and go find the stuff that, where they actually have really tried to make it taste good. And it tastes great. Mm-hmm. I mean, I saw a picture the other day, speaking of Jim, on social media. This guy had just set up his bourbon shelves or something. And he must have had 24 Bookers.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And the picture wasn't, well, it's probably Facebook, but it wasn't good enough to see like the
What
years and
versions
stuff.
they
Yeah,
were?
but I
Yeah.
mean, you could see that like they were all different ones.
Yeah, there was just a bunch of them, and
It
they
was
were
just
all
a
different
bunch of
colors.
them. Like, this is a Booker's guy. He likes Bookers, and I'm just like, man, that's crazy though. Makes me wonder. Like, I would love to do a spread of Bookers.
Yeah.
Just give me like a bunch of different Bookers, and let's.
Well,
let's
we've
taste
said we
them.
were going to do it between what we have and what friends have. Like, we could probably make it happen.
Yeah, we could get an 8 to 10 bottle spread probably. Yeah,
probably.
but like some of those bottles, I'm sure were like old.
Yeah,
they were
for
probably
sure.
10 years old or something. So that would be interesting to taste what it was like, what the product was like back then.
So I hear from a lot of people that like the older Bookers are much better than the newer ones. I can't say that definitively because I haven't had a bunch of the older ones. I know Corey has one that I've tasted that's very, very good. So there's just so many of them out there at this point.
Right.
Because what is it, 4 a year?
There's 4 a year. Yeah.
And then you get into some of the other more expensive options. The little books and things of that nature. So they drop a few a year, man.
They do. I mean, and then you got Knob Creek, and like, I mean, it's crazy. Like, I never even thought to try Knob Creek, and I think a single barrel or something a single barrel 9 came in at one point, and tried.
That's what changed it for us,
and was like, oh wow, this is really good.
So for a long time, I thought Knob Creek was like kind of rough around the edges, and then I had that single barrel, and I was like, wait, and that could have just been on me for the not having the most developed palate yet.
Yeah. Sure.
Right. So now at this point, 4 years, closer to 5 years of like really diving deep into bourbon. Like, I was into it before, but like now it's like, this thing that, I'm tasting and everything I can get my hands on. And so my palate's just developed to a place to where I think I can tell you good from bad. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I can taste every single nuance of a bourbon. But recently, we were somewhere and it was my birthday. And Jackie Manning went to the back and got something. And she's like, tell me if you can figure out what that is. I couldn't figure out exactly what it was, but I was able to pick the distillery that it was from, right? Just because it was a Sazerac product and the cherry note was so present.
Gotcha.
Right? So it jumped out at me, but I think I know a little bit at this point.
And then, like, if you were to ask me, like, third, I don't know. I think that would be difficult, right? So I'm not sure where I would go next.
For a third brand?
Yeah.
Whew.
Maybe Sazerac, maybe. But like it's hard because like I'm thinking about like the B tax and the.
So
those,
so that's kind of unfair, right?
Unfair,
like I don't lump those in as something that's favorite because it's so hard to get them.
Right.
But realistically, like for a third brand, it's probably bad to say, but like realistically, it's probably MGP.
Yeah, like I'm just thinking of the myriad of smaller guys out there.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things from MGP that I like that I know is sourced bourbon from MGP. So when I think about it, like I drink a lot of their stuff, right? Like I'm a huge fan of Penelope, and that shit. Penelope in itself is one of my favorites, just like their whole line. But I think at that point, like we're splitting hairs, right? Because favorite is by far Wild Turkey. Beam is definitely number 2, and then I can't be definitive about
kind
anything.
of like everybody else, right?
Yeah.
Right. It's just a bunch of single bottles here, maybe 2 bottles.
Because I'm not as far as Sazerac goes, I'm not caught up on the Wellers.
Well, like so, even with Penelope though, there's only 2 or 3 that you really enjoy. The other ones are just kind of eh.
Yeah, that's not true, man. Like I like the Barrel Proof, I like the Rio, the Rose, the Valencia. So I mean, there's a few that like are really good. Like the only one I think I had that I really didn't enjoy that was like a one-off was the Architect, which was kind of surprising. I expected to enjoy that more. But I've also not tried the new Heritage stuff that's been out.
Yeah, I haven't tried any of those. Yet.
So, maybe we got to find one.
Yeah.
Maybe we got to find one.
Got a nice ash going there. Pretty clean burn.
So I will say, I wish this had a little bit more complexity. right? And again, I'm still very much in the foot, so I can't tell you that it won't change. But for my initial thought process, just not enough complexity there for me.
Right.
It's kind of one dimensional right now.
And this is like one of the stronger cigars from the like My Father portfolio, if you will.
Okay.
Like, which is why you don't smoke My Father, because pretty much everything you've probably ever had from them, doesn't do it. I don't think we've done a judge yet. We should do one of those. Like, I actually enjoy that one. It's probably their strongest cigar.
Okay.
But I mean, it's still nothing compared to that one we just had,
right?
Strength wise. I mean, but that one's really good too. But My Father lives more in the medium palate.
Okay.
So for people who really enjoy the more traditional old world style cigar,
that makes sense.
Where we're mild to medium or medium, that's where they tend to live. But this was a family member. I can't remember who who made this cigar, blended it, or something. It was something like that. I need to go look it up. Maybe I can find like a little blurb or something I can put up on the screen. But My Father, I don't really know a whole lot about the brand. I know I'm familiar with what's out there, but I'm not familiar with the backstories. Or
no, I'm not either. Be completely honest. Like I like to try new things, but I'm definitely a creature of habit when it comes to what I smoke on a regular basis, right? So I will try something new if I go to like a new cigar lounge, you know what I'm saying? Because I want to support that cigar lounge.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like a lot of times I want to stick to what I know.
Right.
Because I don't want to spend money on something that I might hate. So I'll buy one or two of something brand new or something I've not tried, but I've always got something in the box.
Sure.
That I can pull out that I know I'm going to enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, I think cigars is one of those adventures, and you kind of have to be willing to try some new things, right? I mean, there's always going to be those core things that you really enjoy and you're always going to go back to, but it's just fun to try stuff you haven't had before. There's so much out there.
Yeah.
Just the same thing with bourbon. I mean, there's just so much out there.
But that's what I have you for, man. Like for you to taste new cigars and be like, hey, you should try this. You know what I'm saying? So I've got a lot of friends that try a lot of different things. And I try different cigars as well. But I think me more than anybody else is probably the biggest creature of habit, right? Like I got a lot of good stuff, so I'm gonna smoke that good stuff.
Probably.
So but it's all good. All good. I will say that, like you said, the construction on this is pretty good. I think the smoke production has been good. We haven't done a band in a little while.
Okay, yeah, true.
We definitely haven't done a band in a little while. So we'll start at the front. It says Jaime Garcia, Reserva Especial. So the band is kind of cool. I like the colors. So you've got a bunch of different colors in there. You've got like I don't want to say that's red. But there's a cream. There's some variation of red in there that looks like maybe blue and black potentially. We've got a lighter blue, maybe a darker blue.
Yeah.
Then on the back here, you've got where it says My Father Cigars. So it lets you know this is a collaboration. But I think this is one of those bands that if you haven't seen it before, it may make you pick it up. Also, the shape of the cigar, right? Like it was a torpedo. But you said this specifically has a different name.
It's a Bellicosa.
Bellicosa.
That's what they call it. Yeah.
So, I think this might have been appealing if you see it in the box, the presentation, all that good stuff. So
one thing that kind of sets this one apart is, if you know anything about My Father, is a lot like Fuente does. They have a very similar band on all their cigars.
And this one does not.
This one does not have that normal. It's kind of like the Casa Cuba.
Yes.
Right? Where it's like it's still made by them, but it doesn't have that typical band, right?
Same with the God of Fire.
Yeah. Like this doesn't have that typical My Father band on it, right? Which is, kind of ornate, and it's got that gold filament MF on it, and and then there's a secondary band to tell you what that specific cigar. This one just says, nope, we're gonna put a completely different band on it and make it look like a different cigar. But for those that know, this is affiliated with My Father. So
I will say the retro is pretty good on this. I still think I'll tell you this: it smokes fast. I feel like it's smoking rather fast, right?
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, the retro, even though it doesn't give me a whole lot of complexity, it's still quite nice, right? It's very smooth, very mellow.
It has this I don't like thick quality to it. I don't know a better way to say it. Like it's oily, I guess, right?
Yes.
And it leaves this oiliness in the nose
Yeah,
and the retro,
and the nasal, yeah, for
right?
sure.
It's a super oily cigar without being overly strong
Yes.
or overly, tons
I don't
of
know
flavors.
that. So with this one, any more strength might have killed this cigar.
Right. No,
right?
I agree.
There's just not enough complexity to add more strength to it.
Mm-hmm.
If you added more strength, it would just be a completely overpowering cigar with nothing but strength.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely an outlier in the My Father portfolio.
Yeah.
So if you're a My Father fan, you may not like this one. But if you're not a My Father fan, you might actually enjoy this because it's not that typical My Father flavor.
So Jaime Garcia makes other cigars as well.
I don't know.
I believe they make other cigars, right?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I want to say I've had other Jaime Garcia cigars. Let's quick Google search.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure.
Let's see.
I don't think so.
Maybe not.
I don't
feel
think so.
like
I think this is it. Like this is like a My Father Jaime Garcia. Kind of like one of those.
Yeah, I think you're right, man.
Right? Casa Cuba comes in different sizes, but it's just one cigar.
No, it looks like that might be it, man. Like I don't see anything else popping up on a Google search. So for some reason, I felt like I had smoked something else from this. So maybe it's just it. So it looks like there's a Maduro and there's a Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
So there's your Connecticut.
I didn't know there was a Connecticut.
I feel like I've seen, other ones before.
Very interesting. Okay.
Okay, maybe not. Maybe they come in different Vitolas, though. They do come in different Vitolas.
I figured that.
Okay, well, hey, learn something new every day. Something new every day. So I'm gonna finish up my pour of
same here.
Turkey. Get to Jason's concoction.
I mean, that was a full bottle. It started out as a full bottle.
I feel like I tried it maybe when you initially blended it and it was in a jewel.
I believe so, yes.
So it's been a little while.
Mm-hmm. And that's been blended for like 2 months now.
Okay.
And I kept it in the barrel proof bottle so that I could remember which barrel proof it was.
Gotcha.
Which batch it was. Man. But so we don't talk about the blending very much, but it's one of those things that anybody can do. You just some people do it right in the glass. Taste it immediately. Personally, I found that it's better to wait, which means you have to have quite a bit of patience.
Just a little.
Yeah, because it takes a good month for it to kind of settle down and marry that good and that sort of thing. But you can have fun with it. I haven't done one in a little while. I need to get back into it.
I was about to say, how many blends are you up to now?
Like 22 or something like that.
Okay.
I don't remember what number this is.
So blending is difficult, right?
It's very difficult because I've only had like 4
of 22 that you've done.
Like 4 have been
4 of them.
Yeah. The E.H. Taylor's, kind of dupe.
That one's there.
The dupe. Yep. The Boo Rye.
Mm-hmm.
This one. And I'm trying to remember now. There was a 4th one. I can't remember. I have to look.
Okay.
Because I keep them saved somewhere else, on the file that I keep up with all the blends. Because I tried blending JD, I tried blending Forester, I tried blending Woodford. None of it worked.
Yeah, a lot of them have just such distinctive parts of whatever was blended, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's part of the fun of it is figuring out how to tame some of those more crazy bottles. I remember you did one, and I said that's contradiction rye. Like it was just so apparent. I was
Right.
like, that rye specifically, like
Right.
it stands out, right?
So those three, the fourth one is one I can't recreate. So these three though are the ones that were, they're made with everyday
Yeah,
available stuff.
you can go to the store, get it on the shelf.
That's right. And so you can just recreate that over and over and over again. But I've gotten to the point now where I've used up pretty much all the stuff that I want to use to, make those everyday blends.
Yeah.
I'm now going to have to get into the stuff where it's going to be one-offs.
Okay.
I'm only going to be able to make, one bottle of it.
Because you can't get the bottles.
Because I can't, yeah. Because they're single barrels, or, they're just a one-time release,
Yeah.
or, just something like that, right? And then you're also using like better stuff, right?
So it just becomes more expensive to create.
Exactly. And so, even though I'm testing the blends in a 4-ounce jewel, it's still like, if you plan to make that bottle, I'm now going to give up however much.
Yeah, to actually get it done. So funny enough, on this one, like, you can smell the larceny. Like, without a shadow of a doubt, you can smell the larceny. Like,
I mean, it's all
larceny.
It's all larceny. So,
but so my thing, as far as aromatics go, larceny has a distinctive aroma, I think. Like,
yeah, I agree with you. But
it's one of those things that originally larceny scared the shit out of me.
Right.
Because the barrel proofs are barrel proofs. Like,
they're rough.
They hurt.
They're rough.
You got to smooth it out.
And then the small batch is just weak as hell.
It's underwhelming.
Like, it's so weak as hell, right? So I thought, what if I combine the two and I pull up the small batch and pull down
the barrel
proof,
yeah.
Right? And I think that's exactly what this did. And I mean, I don't know if a different batch would taste all that different. I don't know that the different Larceny batches are so different that you would notice it. But I love this pour.
I'm shocked at how sweet it is. Like, literally shocked at how sweet it is. Because Larceny traditionally isn't like super sweet.
Right. Like, so it rounded out all that roughness.
Yes.
From the barrel proof.
Yes.
But it's not weak. So it's not like I added water to the barrel proof or something.
So you still get the flavors of high proof.
Yes.
Without the burn of high proof.
Right. Exactly.
That's the beauty of this, right? So you still get all of the,
like, if the barrel proof is just too much for you, which, I mean, for a lot of us,
it is, man. Like, and so I don't mind the overall flavor of the barrel proof Larceny. I hate what comes after I taste the flavor. That heat, that ruggedness. Right. Around the edges of it, man. So
it's 125 proof or something like that. This one's 124. I mean, it's every bit of 124. In a lot of ways, it tastes higher than that. And so that small batch just kind of tames it down a little bit, calms it down a little bit. Like, calm down.
Makes it quite tolerable. Makes it very, very tasty. All of the things that you hate about the small batch and the barrel proof are gone. And you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Makes it a really, really great pour.
Yeah.
So Larceny, if you're listening,
just blend them together and
just put them together, man. Give us a new bottle. Give us a new variation with them blended together.
Here's the thing. The barrel proof and the small batch are so far apart. I don't understand how they don't have a product in the middle.
Yeah, it's
That's
kind of crazy.
This is
or maybe we just don't know. Maybe there is one and we don't know about it.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know that I've ever seen. As far as I know, Larceny makes 2 products.
Yeah.
Right? They make small batch and they make barrel proof.
Yeah.
Like, they went total extremes, right? They went from, I think, it's like 86 proof to all the way up to 125 proof. They didn't screw around with 100 proof.
No.
105 proof.
No.
I just think that's funny. So I'm kind of glad that I did it. Somebody else actually gave me the idea with, they were trying to do it with Elijah Craig.
Okay.
regular Elijah Craig and barrel proof Elijah Craig.
Yeah, because Elijah Craig's barrel proofs
Some of them can be a little rough.
they can hit.
You know, like if you don't have like a pick,
they can hurt a little bit.
Like if you're just getting regular old barrel proof off the shelf,
it can hurt a little bit.
It can hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
And so they had one where they had mixed the two together, and I'm like, you need to make a bottle of that.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm running kind of low on this one. I need to go ahead and
blend another.
Yeah, I need to go ahead and blend it. And the nice thing about it is you buy the two bottles and you just get two bottles, right? Because it's literally 1 for 1.
So I will say, again, I know I've already said it, but this smokes fast.
It does seem like it's smoking fast because I mean we're only like 30 minutes into it and we're like halfway done.
Yeah.
So this is like an hour-long cigar, maybe.
Or it's just after our first cigar of the night, it was so strong where we're needing a little bit more.
See, and I'm really enjoying it. Like it's coating the tongue with its oils and stuff, and for me, I'm enjoying it.
No, definitely enjoying it. It's just it seems to be moving very quickly.
I kind of wonder if we would have swapped these two.
We probably should have.
What the experience would have been.
I'll take that one on the head, man. Like brought Jason in and was like, "Hey, I love this cigar, so we're gonna smoke it." Probably didn't plan it out very well, but hey, shit happens sometimes.
Like this one is holding its own. It's not like the previous one is just totally overshadowing this. It could just be not completely your profile.
I think if I would have had it earlier in the night, probably would impress me a little bit more.
Okay.
Right. But I don't think it's a bad smoke.
All right.
I don't think it's a bad smoke at all.
Well, we are almost at time,
okay.
So we kind of already started doing our final thoughts, but I'll go ahead and dive into each thing.
Let's do it.
So I'll start with the cigar. I think that this is a good cigar. I think it's better than good. I think that my father-wise, this is probably one of their best ones on the strength side. So if you're looking for a bit more strength, this one kind of stands out from the rest. But if you smoke my father for the flavor, you may not like this.
Very true.
So I think for me, this one would fall into that category of what mood am I in?
Mm-hmm.
Am I want something that is a little bit stronger, and I don't have to try to pick out the flavors. This kind of fits that bill. If I want something that's more flavorful, I'm probably not going to come to this.
Okay.
And I'm probably also not going to start my night out with this either.
No.
I'm very interested in that Connecticut. Kind of curious what that might be like, as a starter cigar.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe tame some of the strength down, let the flavor shine a little
right.
bit more. But still, it's an enjoyable cigar. I think this thing runs about $12.
Okay.
Something like that. So not crazy expensive, but not sub 10. It is my father, and if you know anything about my father, I don't think they have anything sub 10.
Yeah, they're kind of expensive.
So everything they make is $10 to $20.
Yes.
So take that as you will. And then as far as the spirits go, I mean, the turkey is great. I mean, it's like above regular 101, but below Kentucky Spirit.
Yeah.
Right. And that bottle ran what?
I'd be telling a lie if I said I knew. So
guess.
50?
Okay.
I'm gonna say 50.
And that's just because of the
it's anniversary, aged a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
I mean, so you need to try to drink it with that knowledge, I guess, that like it's still just 101.
Yes.
But it's a great pour. It gives me a little bit extra from the normal 101, so that's nice. And then the Larceny, I mean, I love it. I wouldn't make it if I didn't. So, I think we've said it before, it kind of rounds out the rough edges and pulls that small batch up. The fact that I'm blending it with its base product, or its proofed down product, I guess, is really what it is. Kind of makes sense. But, so we've said it already, but if you're not a huge fan of either one because of the proofiness or the weakness, try this.
Yeah, try blending them together.
Yeah, like go get you a Jewel or whatever, or just go, if you have 2 bottles, you got a spare bottle, mix them 50-50 and put it in your shelf for a month.
See what happens.
And I think you'll be impressed.
Don't disagree.
But that's what I got.
All right, so I'll start with the spirits. The Larceny for me gives me everything I want. Because I'm not a huge fan of either of the bottles separately.
Mm-hmm.
This is a beautiful in between. It's sweet, it's viscous, it has a lingering, long finish. Everything about it is right. It sucks that they don't make this product on their own.
It's in that sweet spot, right?
Right,
Like
like
for us,
it's everything. So it sucks that they don't make this product on their own. But Jason, great job on a blend. This is one that you should do more often. I might even task you with, making me one, and I'll put it on the shelf, pay for it. The anniversary turkey, it's wild turkey. Yeah, I think it's a little bit sweeter than normal turkey 101. I'm not disappointed at the price point because you get a little bit more age. I think you get a little bit more sweetness, and it's just cool to have on the shelf. Man. I'm not gonna lie, like it's cool to have on the shelf, right? You got it next to the Wild Turkey 101, and people are like, "What is that one?" Well, taste them and see if you can tell the difference.
How is that different?
Yeah, taste them and see if you can tell the difference, right? As far as the cigar goes, there's nothing wrong with it. It's not my favorite just because I feel like I smoke way stronger cigars. My average cigar is stronger than this one, right? I still do want to say I think this is a high-end medium cigar.
Yep.
It's stronger than medium. It's not all the way full body. As far as flavor goes, it's one-dimensional.
It is kind of lacking, right?
It lacks as far as complexity goes on flavors in a cigar.
I wonder if the strength is overpowering the flavor.
Maybe.
Right.
We could have just screwed up, or I could have just screwed up by giving us that extra strong cigar as the first one.
Maybe.
Right?
But I would go back to this.
Yeah, I would try it again. I would definitely do it again. I think it has enough to make me want to do it again. That being said, that's what I got, man.
All right, let's wrap it up.
All right, well, y'all know what it is, man. Another episode of High Proof Ashes. Please, please, please make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, hit that little bell so that you get notifications when we drop new content. I am one of your hosts, Duran, no cool nickname, and my partner to the left,
Jason JB Smoke. Y'all definitely put some more smoke in the air. See ya.